Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. I am your host, Sam Randazzo, and I am joined by my two very, very festive co-hosts. To my right, it is the one and only Uncle Sam Tooklos.
Hello. Happy holidays.
Happy Hanukkah.
That too.
Merry Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Happy Chrysler.
Yep.
And can you give us a ho ho ho?
Fuck off.
Still going.
And behind the computer,
Not stopping.
You're a fuck.
Not stopping.
press it again.
There you go.
There we go. And behind the computer,
Hi,
making a sound
motherfucker.
somewhat high, hanging his own tinsel, it is Bruce, the tugboat Venditti.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells. What's going on?
Well, week 15 has come and gone, but this week was filled with some shocking results and plenty of controversy. First and foremost, we've got to start right here. The Detroit Lions are 500.
Holy shit.
They went into MetLife Stadium to play the Jets this weekend. Both teams fighting for playoff positioning. Now the Jets falling to fourth in the AFC East. Well, Detroit now has a firm grasp on second place in the NFC North. And realistically are a half game behind Washington for that last wildcard spot. So the Lions now very much in play for a playoff spot after starting off 1-6. I want to get your thoughts on the game, and then I want to talk to Bruce because I'm sure he's just elated today.
Well, I think it's pretty simple. It was ugly.
It was ugly.
And it's a good thing that Zach Wilson was starting in this game because I think Mike
Agreed.
White would have lit the Lions up.
I don't think he would have lit the Lions up, but
I do.
I think
I do.
there would have been I think the result would have been different.
I was waiting for Joe Flacco.
Oh, I do too. Listen, Zach Wilson is what Zach Wilson is. He missed a lot of open receivers.
He was fucking awful.
He made some really bad throws.
He was awful, dude.
Yes.
He is awful. Zach
He
Wilson
made a
is
few good
fucking
throws,
awful.
and he made more ugly throws than he did good throws.
I mean,
And I'm to the point now where I'm so happy the Lions won. Good for them. They need to learn how to win on the road, but I gotta say it. Dan Campbell cannot fucking manage a game.
What are you talking about?
agree.
He cannot manage a fucking game.
Better than Robert Saleh, who could have called a
you
timeout
know what? I'm
right
not gonna.
there.
I don't give a fuck about Robert Saleh because he's in New York and we're in Detroit.
I'm just okay, but I'm just saying.
I'm just saying
They're
too.
two guys that have similar
I'm just saying too.
coaching
This
style.
guy is can't get
And
out of
he
his
lost
own
at
way.
home,
He
so.
can't get out of his own fucking way sometimes.
I agree.
54-yard field goal with a guy that can't hit a 40-yard field goal.
That was
stupid.
That was
Stupid.
Made
Thank God
no
there was
sense.
8 minutes left in that fucking game when he decided to bumble that one.
I'll agree with Bruce that neither coach, I think, had a very good game.
No. Robert Saleh just showed that he's as fucking clueless as Dan Campbell is.
Agree. Bruce,
Clueless.
thoughts?
Fucking clueless.
Victory Monday. I'm taking it in. But I'm not freaking out because what I saw in this game was two teams battle very, very hard. And don't get discouraged as Lions fans because their defense is really good. We were struggling to get something going on offense all
I'll
game
agree with you there.
long. It was a battle. It was a battle. Like I said, two teams that matched up pretty well together.
Couple takeaways of mine from this game. One, the Lions' run defense is for real. Zonovan Knight, we've seen the last couple games prior to this one. He ran the ball very effectively, very nicely. And again, here we are, the Lions.
The weak part of their fucking team starting out the beginning of the year is now one of the strengths on their defense.
Agree 1,000%. They could not run the ball. They could not get anything going in the run game. And now we have seen the Lions, for well over a month, completely dismantle everybody they play's ability to run the ball. It doesn't matter who the back is. It wouldn't have mattered if Breece Hall was in this game because it didn't matter when it was Saquon Barkley. It does not matter. they will stop the run.
I agree.
Every guy's there on the run.
This is the system. But
Hutch,
the double-edged sword to that system is
McNeil.
it's real simple. They let 300 yards passing up. And
they're going
they're
to.
to the point where they're content with giving up to 300 yards passing as long as
they can stop the run.
they can stop the run.
And they did that. And this is, again, second week in a row. We have seen them go for a lot of yards. You know, what did Kirk Cousins have last week? 425 yards passing, and the Lions end up winning the game because they are so good against the run. That's number one. That makes me feel good because the Lions actually are for real when it comes to stopping the
Their
run.
red zone D is, in general, pretty good.
Number two, DeAndre Swift ran the ball nicely yesterday. He only got 8 carries, but he went for 52 yards. He ran the ball nicely. I will give him that. Jamal Williams is like a turtle who went back into his shell. He's completely shut off now.
Oh, no, he had a touchdown taken off the board. He had a nice run at the goal line. That got taken off for a penalty, a masking penalty that
There was that
sucked.
one touchdown he
But-
missed. The block, he could have cut inside,
well,
but
I
he
mean,
made up
it is
for
what
it
it
with the
is.
next touchdown.
Listen,
So,
the Jets have a good defense. Their secondary is very good.
Guess what?
Their linebacking core is also very good.
The Jets have a okay defense. The Jets and the Vikings.
They were
to me-
missing the heart and soul of their defense, Quentin Williams.
The Jets, to me, have a comparable defense to the Vikings. And at the end of the day,
They couldn't get a pass rush. They could not get any pressure on Jared Goff.
they couldn't. But here we go. What's the best part of the Jets' defense?
Their pressure. Their secondary.
Their secondary. And Jared Goff very nicely, pretty much, found every little gap in there. It was a very methodical day. You could see there was no deep passes. The deepest pass of the game was the game ender to Brock Wright, his 151-yard reception for a touchdown.
that was a 5-yard pass.
Correct.
5-yard pass that went 50 yards.
Other than that, it was Deke and Duck the whole time. And guess what? The Lions will win games like that. They have receivers that are good enough to make the moves to do that. And this was, again, without Jamison Williams having any sort of impact on this game.
Well, I mean, Jared Goff underthrew a
that
pass
was
by
a
5
touchdown.
yards. That should have been a touchdown.
now I want to go back to the Lamar thing with that. If that was Lamar throwing that ball into the end zone for J-Mo, it would have been a touchdown.
Agree. But that's
But that's okay.
neither here nor there.
Yes.
I'll say this much. The Lions' defense still has weakness, a lot of weakness. And if you find a team that goes up against them that can find a way to run the ball on them, and you know without a doubt, a quarterback playing the Lions is going to throw for 300-plus yards. So if anybody can figure out a way to run on them, they'll win the game. But until that happens, I think this team's going to win the rest of the way, and I think they're going to go to the playoffs. As fucked up as that is for me to say,
Romeo Okwara,
Showing up, showing out.
he looked good yesterday.
come up off that injury. He was on a pitch count. Had 2 sacks. What could you say?
He had a nice.
Everyone up
you
front,
can't expect any more. They have a really nice rotation on that defensive line right now. They sacked this kid 4 times yesterday, and they were bringing the heat. They brought the heat on him, and I'll give them that much. You know, a weak spot of the Lions in the past is quickly becoming a strength on their team, and that's their defensive line.
You know what else is nice? The Lions' offensive line is Goff had plenty of time, and I get it. You're going to say it's because they were without Quinnen Williams, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here.
He had plenty of time to.
Goff had plenty of time to throw. I would say, besides the fact that Dan Campbell almost coached them out of this, and I will stand by that. And the best benefit the Lions had going for them was Robert Saleh coaching the Jets out of their game in the fact that Zach Wilson is atrocious. They didn't look bad yesterday. Do they give me all the hope in the world? No. But I personally, I know you think the Panthers game is the trap game. Even though I picked them to win this week because that was what I said I was going to do, I thought this was going to be the trap game. And now I think the rest of the way, it's going to be no issue. Because we'll talk about the Carolina game later. Carolina looked fucking awful yesterday again.
Yeah, they
the
did
fifth
look
different
bad.
time this year.
They don't look like the team that played last week. That's for sure.
But I think the Lions will run the table. Or how Lions would it be for them to lose that last game of the year at Green Bay?
To Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not going to say that yet, but I think they'll be okay.
Well, I think we're a little
One
ahead
week
of
at a time.
ourselves. It's got to be one game at a time.
One game at a time.
And
Listen,
Carolina's
fuck all
up
that
next.
one game at a time thing. I'm sick of that.
I can't wait to
You
see
mean-
if they win this game against Carolina this week. I could not wait. I couldn't even imagine what the atmosphere will be at like Ford Field playing Chicago the week after.
Oh, my God.
I couldn't even imagine the decimal, how loud it will be there. It will make
mean
Seattle
The fake
look like
decimal they put on
fucking.
the screen just to tell you that everyone's really.
When is that?
Yeah.
Bruce will be so hungover for that game he won't be able to function.
Yeah,
on New Year's Day, I
he'll
think.
be pissing all over himself.
Yeah, there'll be urine everywhere.
Yes.
I probably won't.
Urine and sperm everywhere.
Urine and what sperm?
Well, his little.
I'll probably have like a couple Bud Lights. That's it.
Okay.
Couple Bud Lights.
I couldn't even imagine because
The day
know
after New Year.
Bruce goes to all these games and doesn't post anything for you guys to see. But
that's
Sorry, I'm pissing in my pants,
yeah,
staring at the Lions.
Okay, so that we had to get out of the way. Hometown team playing really
they
well.
won. We're all behind them.
Not all
We're
of us, but
100% behind them, and we hope they do well. We hope they win out.
I'm not.
I would love to see them go into playoffs before I die.
great.
I'm
They're
a
probably
Lions
gonna
fan.
do
I
it.
take this one game at a time. That's it.
That's
I'm
cute.
not buying in. I'm not buying. You never
That's cute.
buy
But at the end of the
into
day, people with actual scrotums and that know football know when it's time to get in and get out. It's time to get in on them.
Right.
It's time to get in. I am the biggest Lions fucking hater, truther, whatever you want to call it, there is. At the end of the day, I thought they would lose every fucking game they've won. This game for me was the last test I needed to see to say, you know what? This team's not bad. Because they've won every game they should have lost. Now, we just have to see if the Lions will do the un-Lions thing and win the games they should win. Because in the past, that's what they do. They go up against Buffalo, and it's a really fucking good game. And they play the Giants, and they win. And then they go and play Carolina with Sam Darnold, that's fucking literal ass water, and lose by 3 touchdowns. But I'm not even going to put that. I'm not even going to say that. I think they will win out. Now, as great and happy as that is, there was one game. Actually, there was more than one game, but this game, Sunday Night Football, nothing infuriated me fucking more than the end of this football game. It was absolutely, unadulteratingly fucking awful. The Giants went into Washington to play the division rival Commanders and won this game with an asterisk next to it, 20-12. Because guess what? I've never once in my life given any credit, given any thought to all the people that say the NFL is rigged, right? Never thought it. Never given any credit to it.
Oh, it's
it.
rigged.
Oh, it's fucking rigged.
Last fucking night was the first time where I watched a game end and I was like, God damn it. This thing might be fucking rigged. You have Washington down by a touchdown and a 2. It's 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 5 because they got that fucking stupid false start. 3rd and 5. Terry McLaurin lines up out wide. Terry McLaurin checks in with the ref to make sure he's on the line of scrimmage. The ref tells him to move up. Terry McLaurin goes back to the ref to check a second time, to which the ref does this. As soon as they snap the ball, the ref throws a fucking flag. Tell me how you watched that sequence of events go down and you didn't stop for a second and say, oh, this is fucked up. That's the receiver's responsibility to check in with the ref. The ref told him he was good. There was a conversation. If he wasn't good, when he checked in the second time, the ref should have said, hey, come on, keep it coming, bud. Awful. They throw the flag on that, which would have been a touchdown.
That he's asking if he's good, throws the flag.
Correct.
Yes.
That is bullshit.
Which would have been a touchdown. And on top of it, it wasn't even a passing play. They ran the fucking ball. That's number one. And then, the final play of the game, the ball goes to Curtis Samuel. Okay? Draped isn't a strong enough word. The defender had him wrapped up when he went up to get the ball. It was absolutely fucking awful.
It was very Pettigrew-like, huh?
Extremely.
Yeah, did anybody get the fucking guy was tackled tackled. And they
He
didn't
was
call it.
fucking tackled in the end zone before he never had a chance to catch the ball.
What were the odds on this game Thursday?
Never. Huh?
What were the odds on this game Thursday
It doesn't matter, dude.
when we did the episode?
I want to say Washington was a favorite.
I was
Washington was
thinking about
favored.
this yesterday because I was thinking
Washington was a 4.5 point
Lions
favorite.
were favorited by 2 when we were talking about it. By game time, the Jets were favorited by 2. Lions win by a field goal.
Jets were favorited that game the whole time.
Were they?
The Jets were favored in the game the whole time.
But either way,
I thought it was Lions.
no.
No.
Either way, that game was stripped from Washington. And the worst fucking part about it was that call followed by that no call. All right? Because Heineke was zoned in my opinion.
Yeah.
That call followed by that no call. You did so much to the conference standings. Now, after that, Dallas gains their playoff spot. Because the Giants won, Dallas got their playoff spot. So that one's done. Then on top of that, you now have the Giants at 8-5-1 and Washington at 7-6-1. And these teams are so evenly matched, they tied the first time.
Correct.
So now the Giants have ranking over Washington in the division. And that the whole sequence of power is thrown off in this wild card situation now.
Yep.
You have a situation where the Cowboys are in without question now. The Giants look like they're going to be in. They're a game and a half up now. And Washington sitting there hanging on by a fucking thread with Detroit breathing down their back by a half a game.
And Detroit has a tiebreaker on Washington and the Giants.
Bingo.
On both of them.
Awful.
Yeah.
But
Best case scenario is the Lions win out.
best case scenario, the Lions win the next 3.
They
and
win
then
out.
this doesn't matter because I don't think there's any way that the Giants and or Washington do. Me personally, I think after seeing the way that went down with Washington last night, that was a season ender. That was a heartbreaking fucking game for them.
Could be.
But let's talk about the actual game. Daniel Jones, there was not one thing that this guy did that impressed me last night. Personally, in my opinion, Daniel Jones looks clueless. He looks scared. For some reason, this team looked so strong to start out the year. They looked so strong, and it's like the life was sucked out of them. Saquon Barkley was the only highlight this team had last night. And I'm sorry, that's the honest-to-God truth. And Kayvon Thibodeau making the game-saving tackle.
Thibodeau was a fucking monster yesterday.
Other than that, this team is one-dimensional and can't do anything. I'm sorry. This is not...
I just don't remember a player dominating another team the way Thibodeau did last night.
This is not...
It reminded me of the old Lawrence Taylor clips of him dominating a game.
Here's the thing, though. Kayvon Thibodeau's great. He's a great player. Great highlight. Going to be good for a lot of years to come. At the end of the day, this Giants defense is not those Giants defenses back in the day where Eli Manning could literally go out there and blow penis for 3 quarters, and the defense would do everything in their power to win them a Super Bowl.
It was Phil Simms.
No, I'm not talking about Lawrence Taylor. I'm talking about the 2 fucking Super Bowls the Giants won with garbage offense and a great defense. They're not there.
No, they were playing the New England Patriots, and Eli is 2-0 against Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
Okay. Either way, this team's not that good. This team is a farce. Period.
No, I agree with you. I don't think they're that good.
And Daniel Jones, 21 for 32 for 160 passing yards. My man is not effective. I am sorry. And you want to blame it on the fact that they don't have anybody to throw the ball to? Again, you got Richie James, Isaiah Hodgins, Darius Slayton. It's awful. Now, on the other side, you have a quarterback who doesn't blow you up on the stat sheet. 70 for 29 for 249, a touchdown, 98 QBR, which is a nice game for Heineke.
Right.
But for some reason, when you watch Taylor Heineke play football, and I finally bought into what you've said about him, the guy wants it so fucking bad. He is so gritty.
Yeah.
I mean, when he was trying to run for that touchdown, he threw his fucking body out, lowered the shoulder. It looked like he ran into a wall when he hit Thibodeau at the goal line, but he fucking laid it all out.
Yeah.
You don't see that out of Daniel Jones. You don't fucking see that out of Dak Prescott. This guy wants the fucking game. Love him for it. Absolutely love him. Brian Robinson, great night running the ball.
He's got a lot of shortcomings as a quarterback.
Yes, he
but
does.
Grit is not one of them.
Yes, he's got fucking heart.
He's got grit.
And I'll give him that. Brian Robinson, great night running the football. I've gained a new respect for this guy. Besides the fact that he got shot 5 times like 50 Cent and somehow made it back a month later to play, Brian Robinson's a nice little running back that's going to be good for a lot of years there. At the same time, Jahan Dotson, fucking monster game. 4 receptions, 105 yards, a touchdown, 61-yarder. Terry McLaurin, 6 for 70. Curtis Samuel, 3 for 44.
You spread the ball around nice yesterday.
You want me to be honest with you? I really think if they can keep this thing together in Washington, keep both running backs, because Gibson's a great complementary to Brian Robinson. John Dotson, McLaurin, and Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel's found his role on a team finally. Curtis Samuel's always been a talented guy. He's found his role. Dotson, one of the best young receivers out of this class, in my opinion. McLaurin, we know. If they keep this together with that defensive front they have, they'll be good for a long time. Whereas I don't think the Giants are there.
No, I agree with
I was so mad because you know what? As I'm watching Washington play,
you got to see if Washington can hang on to what they have too. They got some guys that have been there a while, and they're going to lose some guys in free agency this year.
Washington is a team that you can really get behind and like.
Yeah.
They're a very likable football team, and I'm in on them. I want to see them do good things. Love Heineke. Love everything about him. Hate Dan Snyder. Complete scumbag, but I want to see the Washington Commanders do good things this year. That one sucked to watch.
I would agree, but the fact that their name is the Commanders, it still bothers me. And, it's just stupid.
Anyways. All right, let's talk about this fucking dumpster fire. The Cincinnati Bengals headed down to Raymond James Stadium to play the Buccaneers, and it was
what the actual
did all that
fuck?
Convincing.
What the actual fuck happened there?
All that convincing.
That was the most okay. Tom Brady's a lot of things, and you can say it. Whatever you want to say about him, you can fucking say about him. But Tom Brady does not lose fucking games like that. Doesn't.
Did.
First time in his career he's lost after being up 17 or more.
I can't even fathom what the fuck happened in that game. I picked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win that game.
And I'll tell you what,
up huge. Should have been up 20-0
at the half.
Yeah,
at the half. And for some reason there was a fucking goddamn 4 series of fucking garbage that they put out there that was absolutely fucking humiliating.
Okay. This is where I'm at with this team now. I think for the first time in his career, because Brady's never lost 8 games in his career, he's panicked. He's fucking panicking because how do you go from playing through the first 10 games of the year and throw 2 picks, and my man has fucking, 7 interceptions in the last 3 games? The wheels are fucking falling off. He had 2 picks last night that were awful, and he fumbled the ball twice for all intents and purposes. They credited it to him.
It was twice.
Instead of fucking Fournette.
He had 5 fucking turnovers.
Yeah.
The last time I seen him have 5 turnovers was in a game against fucking Kansas City a long time ago when Jimmy Garoppolo was on that Patriot team, and they actually sat Brady, and Garoppolo played the 4th quarter. That was the last time I seen him fucking turn the ball over more than 3 times. And that was, I can't even tell you how long ago that was. It had to be fucking 8 years ago. 7 years ago, it had to be.
Here's the thing. This again.
Garoppolo was a rookie.
Brady was 30 for 44, 312, and 3 touchdowns. That's if you take away all these fucking mistakes, they win this game, no questions asked. But again,
listen,
they ran the ball.
Tom Brady was sacked 8 fucking times.
Right. The offensive line
8
awful.
times.
And
you are not going to win being on your fucking back 8 times.
I'm starting to wonder when it's going to come out that there's something wrong with him.
Wrong
That
with
he's
who?
hurt. That there's something
Who's hurt?
fucking up. Tom.
No, he's not.
Do you know how many times he's been sacked?
He's not hurt. They're just that bad. They're fucking awful. They forgot how to play football.
Offensive line.
They forgot how to play football.
They can't run the ball. The offensive line's not protecting Brady.
Well, you know what? They ran the ball fucking well in that first. I don't want to hear they can't run the football. They were running the football very well against a good defense. And then the wheels came off.
They ran the ball 25 times and didn't even get fucking 100 yards.
It doesn't matter. They were running the ball well in the situations that they had to do it. And Tom was working. The play action was working early, and it worked the whole first half. What the fuck actually happened? What happened for them to come out, fumble,
Your ass.
fumble, turn the ball over in the fucking your own end? You set up 3 easy touchdowns for Joe Burrow. 3 easy touchdowns.
Ones. Brainless ones.
Easy. And they forgot how to fucking play defense.
The defense.
The defense fucking.
collapsed.
It looked like 2 different teams out there from the first half to the second half.
I don't know.
It was
I don't
fucking
know.
awful.
I don't know what
And
the answer
all I
is.
can say is this: how does Todd Bowles still have a fucking job?
I don't know.
How does he still have
I
a
don't
job?
know.
If there's anybody that should be held accountable for the debacle that you've seen yesterday, it's coaching.
He should be gone.
He should have been fired from the fuck. He should have been fired fucking 4 weeks ago.
He should have been fired.
As far as I'm concerned.
He should have been fired a
How
long
this
time
guy
ago.
is still on this team is unreal. Get rid of him. He's not a fucking head coach. Get him the fuck out of there and hire Jeff Saturday, because you know what? This is to the point where it's at.
Don't hire Jeff Saturday.
I would hire Jeff Saturday over
You want to talk about
Todd fucking
debacle?
Bowles.
We'll get to that one.
Anyway.
Jeff Saturday had the worst debacle in the history of the NFL.
Well, that's true.
Okay.
But I just
You've
don't
been
know what else
embarrassed
to say with this.
If you're the Buccaneers, you have been embarrassed not once.
Here's the
twice
killing
in a
part.
row.
Here's the killing part. They're gonna fucking make the playoffs.
Of course.
They're
They
going to
will.
be total fucking trash, make the playoffs, probably beat Dallas in the first round, hopefully. I would love to see that. I would love to see him
Playoff
punch a hole in Mike McCarthy's ass on his way out. I would love to fucking see it because I hate Mike McCarthy and I hate Dak Prescott. And he got exactly what he deserved yesterday. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Jesus Christ. I'm at a loss. I genuinely don't know.
They're done, dude. I believe even if they win their division, which I don't think so, I truly think the Saints are kind of
Get the
fucking rolling
fuck, they
right now.
can't. The Saints are 2 fucking games back, dude.
I just
Like,
think the
come
Saints
on.
have the momentum right now.
Guess
over
what?
everybody else.
What are you talking? Well,
All right.
all the other ones
Say
are
what you
tied.
wanna say.
There's three teams behind them with 1 game,
Okay. Well,
separating them. Do you want to know what the best thing the Buccaneers have going for them right now is?
what? Who do they play next?
The Saints play Cleveland, Philadelphia, and Carolina.
Cleveland, Philadelphia,
and Carolina.
Okay.
So one of those.
Who do the Bucs play?
They're cakewalk now the rest of the way.
Who are yeah, cakewalk.
It's cakewalk.
Who is it?
Atlanta, Carolina,
That Atlanta game is not going to be
At
easy.
Arizona.
The Carolina game is not
at
gonna be
Arizona with Todd McSorley in at quarterback.
I would be fucking real careful what you're saying right now.
Stop, dude.
Okay.
Come on.
Whatever.
It's Sunday night of Christmas Eve in Arizona. They will
Guess
stomp
what?
that
You've seen
fucking
what the
team.
fucking happened yesterday.
And then at home against
That's
Carolina.
something. This is a game they should have never lost.
I'm aware, but
They should have never lost.
In my
this
heart
game.
of hearts, I knew they'd lose this game.
You know what? That's bullshit.
That's
He
not
did.
They
bullshit.
had total control of that game.
It's not bullshit. I
They had
allowed
total
you to
control
talk
of
me
the
out
game
of
and
it.
lost.
Totally talked to him.
I allowed you to talk me out of it.
And was I wrong?
Well, fucking A, they fucking lost.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you
for
were.
For the first 30 minutes, I was dead fucking on. I don't know what you're talking about. I said they will come out, they will run the football and play fucking defense. That's
They ran the
exactly
ball
what
for
they did.
80 yards
That's
on
exactly
25
what they
carries.
did the first half of that game.
They didn't do anything.
Whatever. I was right. You know I was right.
Well, guess what? You weren't, because they fucking lost.
They
and
lost because they're trash.
They're gonna beat
They're
Arizona.
trash.
They're
not
gonna
going to beat Arizona.
They're gonna beat
I
Arizona.
don't see them beating there. J.J. Watt's hot.
Are you done now?
Dude,
J.J. Watt's hot.
They're going to beat Arizona. They're going to beat Carolina at home, and they're going to beat Atlanta. And
That ain't
everybody
gonna happen.
will be 9 and
They're
8.
going to lose to Carolina.
you might
That'll
as
be
well
twice.
go into that
And they'll
game
lose to
of
Atlanta.
Why they're going to beat Arizona.
I mean,
They'll be lucky to
My
go 1
God.
and 2 in the next fucking 3
can you
games.
why are you spewing lies?
Because it's fucking true.
no, you don't actually believe that.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
After seeing what I've
Guess
seen
what?
here,
Guess
yeah,
what?
I do.
If you have big enough gonads to pick Trace McSorley to win
I'm
on
going to.
Christmas Day on Sunday Night Football,
There you go. You just fucking called it for me. I'm taking
Go ahead.
Trace McSorley.
Good. I'll remind you of this on Friday when
Okay.
I'm going to take the Buccaneers.
Go ahead.
Anyways, let's talk about your fucking debacle of the week. The New England Patriots.
Oh, God.
What do you mean my debacle of the week? I had the
He-
Pats in this game.
I'm aware.
Fuck, man.
No, he took the Raiders.
Fuck.
He took
No, I
the
took the
Patriots.
Raiders.
He took the Raiders.
I took the Raiders. I did take the
Because
Raiders.
I said,
in this game.
take the Patriots, dumbass.
Whatever.
And then
He's the only one who still likes the
And
Patriots.
then you were like,
so.
why you watch? He's going to agree with me. And then he picked.
They shit the bed. They shit
New
the bed.
England headed into Las Vegas, and I'm ready to put the nail in them.
The nail in what?
The New England Patriots.
I think the New England Patriots got better opportunity than the fucking Tampa Bay Buccaneers at this
Well,
point.
that doesn't make any sense because they're in third place in their division.
Yeah, it doesn't
but
matter. They don't play in a garbage division either.
is this what it's just going to be now for the next half hour? Is just going to be you comparing everything here, or can we?
I didn't say anything. Go ahead.
Yeah, you did. But
After you.
You were trying
Bill
to say
Belichick.
something.
Bill Belichick is about as good of a head coach at this point as Mike McCarthy. Because he has no control of the team. He has no control of the play calling. They look unorganized. They look unprepared. They don't know situationally what it is they need to do. Matt Patricia must be pounding Belichick's ass on the regular because it's the only reason he can justifiably still have a job.
Yeah.
I mean, what is going on? It's awful.
Coming from the coach that shifts players around like it's fucking nothing. And
let's-
Patricia's doing
Ramondre
this
Stevenson
bad.
is a fucking
Ramondre
monster.
Stevenson is one of the best young
He's
running
a
backs in
fucking
the NFL.
monster, dude.
And guess what? At the end of the day, it's his fault they lost this game. But if they would have won it, it
Yeah.
would have been his. It would have been on his back. But here we go. Let's get this down. I want to ask this question: is Mac Jones the problem here, or is Matt Patricia the problem?
Matt Patricia.
I think it's both of them.
I agree with you.
I think it's both
Mac
of them.
Jones needs to go out one door,
Yeah,
and Matt
they need
Patricia
to tell
needs to be
Mac
out
Jones
the other
to
one.
sit the fuck down right now and put Bailey Zappi
Bailey
in.
Zappi's not the answer either.
Well, I mean,
But-
put Zappi in and let's see what we got.
Mac Jones, 13 for 31, 112 yards.
That's
and
awful.
A 52
What's Zappi's
QBR.
record?
That's awful.
I don't know, but he's awful too.
It doesn't matter. They're the same guy.
They're the same fucking guy. And guess what? Mac Jones cannot throw the ball. He cannot throw it accurately. He misses.
No, I will say this. He had a lot of fucking drops yesterday. These guys are dropping passes.
Wow.
He was hitting them in the hands and they were
God
dropping.
damn, I wonder why they had a lot of drops. I wonder why.
about?
Because the one thing I said all fucking offseason, and you sat here and preached to me how great Jacoby Myers and fucking Kendrick Bourne was that they don't have one fucking decent receiver who is a playmaker on that team. And they don't.
It's hard for them. Everybody was dropping passes.
No,
It
no, no,
wasn't
stop.
just the receivers.
Stop. I want
Everybody
you-
was dropping passes.
You are going to do this. You sat all fucking offseason every time we
Wait a
talked
minute
about
now. Wait a minute now. I said they would win 9 games. I still believe they can win 9 games.
Running out of time.
Don't change the subject.
What?
What do you mean we're running out of time?
No, I'm saying he's running out of time for the Patriots to win
Okay.
9 games.
You sat and you said that the Patriots' skill position players would not be an issue. Jacoby
I
Myers.
didn't. I never said that. What are you talking about?
I said all fucking offseason, what is it about New England that they won't go out and get a skill position? The reason why Brady left is because they couldn't get a receiver in there. Why do they keep trying to do
They
this
had
with
receivers
garbage?
in there every year. What are you talking about?
Tell me.
They pick up every free agent receiver there is out there.
outside of the fucking
Outside
2
of
years
this
with
year,
Randy Moss.
They didn't do it this year.
Bullshit. You're going to sit here and say Nelson Aguilar, that's your big receiver
It
signing?
was the year before.
Come on, dude. Who was it this year then? Jonnu Smith? Come on. It's awful. That falls on Belichick. That falls on Belichick. You
Listen,
don't give Mac
them
Jones
not producing.
anything.
Them not producing is a culmination of being in a really good division
Come
as
on.
of right now.
They played the Raiders.
They're playing in a good division now. Listen, the Jets aren't garbage like they normally were. The fucking Dolphins are better than what people thought they were going to be.
Excuses.
Buffalo has been tough.
They lost to Chicago by 15 fucking points.
Buffalo has been tough.
Come on, dude. Stop making excuses.
I'm not making fucking excuses. I'm saying what it is.
No, I want you to call the spade a spade. The roster's awful.
Yeah, it's awful.
Their defensive front is okay.
I would rather have the roster in fucking New England than the one they got in Tampa right now.
Yeah, there we go again.
Okay. That was probably the dumbest thing.
Anyway, I'll just let that one
said.
go and move on.
You know what's the dumbest thing?
I don't care if I'm dumb.
I would rather have that roster. As of right now, the offensive line in New England is better than that offensive line is in Tampa.
Agree.
The defensive line in fucking New England is better than that defensive line in Tampa right now.
Agree.
The linebacking core in fucking New England is better than the
bullshit.
linebacker core in fucking Tampa right now. Well, I can't say that.
Thank you.
I'm wrong on that because Levante David's still my dog.
Okay. And I
like Jay Bentley. I like him. That Tavai is he should be on the kickoff team.
Hey, so look me dead in the eyes and tell me that you would take Kendrick Bourne over Mike Evans. And then tell me
I would take no, I would not.
Okay. And then tell me you'll take what's his name? Devontae Parker over Chris Godwin.
No, I wouldn't.
And then look me in the eyes and tell me.
I would take Mac Jones over fucking Tom Brady.
That's fine. Go ahead and do that. Anyways, moving on. Let's talk about this absolute fucking debacle. The Arizona Cardinals, who are absolute garbage now, started Colt McCoy yesterday, and unfortunately,
Trace McSorley finished the game.
Colt McCoy got hurt. If I can finish.
Go ahead.
And Trace McSorley came in to quarterback the Cardinals, and he was 7 for 15 for 95 yards with 2 picks and a QBR of 27. Whereas the best quarterback on the Broncos roster started because even though Russell Wilson was cleared from his concussion, they wanted to give him an extra week off to recover. And they started Brett Rippon, who was 21 for 26 for 197 yards with 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and a 95 QBR. And I am officially ready to say that Denver fucked up very badly. Because do I think Brett Rippon is a good quarterback? No. Do I think he is the answer? No. But do I think if you can put Brett Rippon, his bitch ass in there to play with this group, and he does that against somebody whose defense you want to tout because you just got done telling me how hot J.J. Watt is and how good the Cardinals' defense is.
J.J. Watt had fucking 2 sacks yesterday.
Right. At the end of the day, if that defense is as decent as you say it is, Brett Rippon had a nice game.
He did have a nice game.
Latavius Murray, 24 for 130 and a touchdown.
Well, there you go. There's your answer to the fucking game right there.
Well, I mean, if I thought Arizona's defense played well.
They did play well. But they couldn't stop that kid. He was a monster.
Latavius Murray,
and of course, I will say this: fucking
that's a little.
The Broncos' defense is very good. They're very good. Josie Jewell is a fucking monster.
Josie Jewell is one of the best linebackers in football. I'll agree with that wholeheartedly.
And they I'm telling you.
You can't sleep on the Broncos defense. Both those linebackers, Singleton and Josie Jewell, are absolutely fabulous. Patrick Surtain, I mean, he is probably one of the best young corners in football. I've said that for a long time. Listen,
I'll say this: Brett Rippon was sacked 7 times.
Correct, because Denver's offensive line's awful.
7 times.
But I mean, Denver has an awful offensive line. Brett Rippon gets sacked 7 times, and Latavius Murray runs for 130 yards. How the fuck does that make sense?
Yeah.
What do you do now if you have Russell Wilson, if you're Denver? What do you do with this?
You play Russell Wilson the rest of the way. They're invested in Russell Wilson. They're not fucking deviating from that.
This is
because they have to.
This is 2 games in a row now where this Rippon has come in and won games.
Yeah.
He's come in and won you the game.
Well,
I'm sorry. I got news for you. I'm playing him. I'm starting Brett Rippon next week if I'm the Broncos.
All right,
okay.
You play Russ for like 3 quarters, and then you throw Rippon in.
No. No. If
Keep it
it's me,
going.
if I'm Denver, I am sitting Russell Wilson's fucking bitch ass down the rest of the year because guess what? They go to Los Angeles, play the Rams next week. And guess what? That's a winnable fucking game. That's a winnable game for Denver. I am
At this
fucking
point, you
starting
think
Brett
they
Rippon.
Want to?
Huh? Yeah, they want to. Fuck yeah. Because guess what? If Nathaniel Hackett finishes this year with 4 wins, he ain't going to have a fucking job next year. They got to win that game, and I'll start Brett Rippon. As far as Arizona goes, I don't even know why they're – I mean, what do? You're going to start Trace McSorley, whatever the fuck his name is?
Absolutely.
This guy's awful.
This guy's
He's fucking awful. James Conner doesn't know how to run the football anymore.
Don't blame James Conner. He tried.
He tried. I mean,
Ran his ass
enough.
off. No, he tried, dude. What the fuck?
I think
Guy had 63 yards rushing and a touchdown.
Arizona is in a situation now where they're going to be right up there.
How many fucking wins do they have, Arizona?
Arizona's 4-10, same as Denver.
4-10?
Yep, both are 4-10.
Well, I don't see. Who do they play their next 3 games?
Arizona going forward, because this will be interesting. Tampa,
Okay.
at Atlanta, at
right.
Frisco. So
Okay. Well, Frisco might not even that game might not matter because they probably won't play their starters,
correct.
so they might have a chance to beat
Guess
Frisco
what?
in that game.
Guess what? Whoever San Francisco has as their second string is
Yeah.
probably better than
No,
whatever
because I'm sure it's going to be
Arizona's gonna
Mr. Irrelevant.
toss at. Well, yeah, Brock Purdy. Jesus H. Purdy. All right, let's move on. Kansas City headed down to Houston to play the Texans and almost lost another game in overtime.
What the
for
actual
Houston.
fuck? All I can say is this: the Texans let 2 games get away from them. They should have
Against good teams, against playoff
that
teams.
they should have won.
That they should have
2
won.
very good teams that they outplayed for fucking 3.5 quarters.
I have a little rumor that I heard that they didn't really care about this game.
Who?
Kansas City.
No, fucking shit the Kansas
Well,
City
no
didn't
shit,
care
but
about
it's
this
kind
game.
of confirmed if there's a rumor going around.
I mean, I said the same thing. Kansas City, time and time again, Kansas City knows they're the big swinging dicks on campus right now, and they pick and choose what games they're going to play in. All right? That's the only reason why they fucking that's the only reason why
barely made it out of this
this
game
game
alive.
was close, okay? Because if they wanted to and they came out and took it seriously, they would have obliterated them. That's the only reason why the Denver game was close last week, okay?
Yeah.
You know, that's why a couple weeks ago when they played Jacksonville stayed in it.
No, I truly believe Denver would have beat them.
What if they
Yeah.
If Russell Wilson hadn't gone down in that game, they would have beat.
No.
They would have beat them.
If they would have started Brett Rippon in that game,
Oh,
they would have won. But either way,
okay.
I'm going to say this. Houston is showing me a lot right now. Team's got a lot of heart, man.
They're showing some balls.
Team's got Royce Freeman back from the dead, 11 rushes for 51 yards. Davis Mills, 12 for 24, 121. Guess what? It's ugly, but fucking A. I mean, if you take Kansas City to overtime and you're a one-win
They put
team,
24
that's a
points
win.
up. It's a lot more than what people were giving them fucking credit for doing. I'll tell you
Jerick
that.
McKinnon, nice little game, 10 rushes, 52 yards, and touchdown on the ground. Another one through the air and 8 receptions for 70 yards.
He just continues to make big plays, McKinnon.
Yep. Pacheco, 15 for 86. Kelsey, 10 for 105. Juju, 10 for 88. Patty Mahomes, 120 QBR, 36 for 41, 336 and 2 touchdowns. Typical day for him. But, my God, if Houston would have beat them, how fucking good how sweet would that have been?
It'd have been real sweet. The only thing that's sweeter than that is this next game.
The Dallas Cowboys headed to North Florida to play the Jaguars, and somehow, some way, Jacksonville won the game.
You know how? I could tell you how right now. The last 3 games, Dak Prescott has thrown 6 interceptions in 3 games.
My God.
That's all I'm going to say.
And
That's all I'm going to say.
The fact that Trevor Lawrence looked like
Dak fucking Prescott.
Freaking G.
I mean, let's be real about this. Trevor Lawrence, we talked about it this week, how he's stringing good games together. 27 for 42 for 318, 4 touchdowns and a pick. He's outstanding. I mean, this is, God, how bad of a coach.
And this is the guy who got sacked. He was sacked once, but he was under duress the whole game. And he kept his composure.
You want to know something?
And still gunned it down the field.
He moves better than he gets credit for.
Yeah, he does.
He moves better than he gets credit for.
He's actually pretty fast. I didn't realize he's as fast as he is.
Etienne, first good game back, 19 for 103. Zay Jones, again, this is
a big game out of him.
I mean, he's just like Curtis Samuel. He is a guy who found his place finally. 6 for 109 and three touchdowns.
Everybody here thought that he wasn't going to be the relevant guy there. Boy, were they wrong.
Christian Kirk.
I think he's the number one guy there. Kirk is the number 2.
6 for 92. Evan Ingram, 8 for 62.
He's a monster.
Marvin Jones had another touchdown catch again. I mean,
that's all he is at this point.
My God.
He's been very impressive.
Offensively, this Jacksonville team is hitting.
And let me tell you something. If they can continue to play this way toward the end of the year here, they will make the playoffs.
With the way Tennessee's playing, it's wide
open. Whoever has to play them in the first round better look out.
I mean, they're a game above Tennessee right now. And I'm pretty sure they play each other one more time.
I think so, too.
Oh, I'm taking them in that game. That's for sure.
They play each other the last game of the year.
They've already slobber-knockered Tennessee
The
once.
next two, Jacksonville plays the Jets in Houston before Tennessee.
Wow.
Whereas
they got to stay focused here. They got to stay focused because the Jets are going to come out hard next week. And I believe the Jets have them at home.
Tennessee still plays Dallas.
Huh?
Tennessee still plays Dallas.
They have to play Dallas?
Yep.
Okay.
Jacksonville, to me right now, that's going to be that team that sneaks in.
Right
there at the end and really shows everybody what they're made of. And honest to God, the year started out bad for Jacksonville. Let's be real. And I thought they would be a playoff team next year. All offseason, Bruce will tell you, I touted the fuck out of this team.
Yeah, we did.
And I think now we're in a situation where they're going to make a playoff spot and they're going to ruin somebody's day.
I don't believe the Titans are going to be able to
keep it together long enough.
And let me just say this. Dak Prescott is absolute dog shit. He is so inconsistent. At what point does this guy how does he still have a starting job in this league when your backup won more games than you do?
It doesn't make sense, dude.
It makes no fucking sense to me.
No, it doesn't.
At this point, because they're locked into Dak Prescott is the reason why they're doing what they're doing. Do you think Cooper Rush would have a better chance of winning than Dak Prescott?
No.
No?
No. In my heart of hearts, I don't.
You don't?
No, because
even though Cooper Rush won 5 or 6 games in a row?
Let's be real. This was, honest to God, in my opinion, this game was more of, Jacksonville put up 40 fucking points on them. Okay? This game was more of a breakdown.
And Dak Prescott threw the game away right at the end.
This was more of a breakdown all game with Jacksonville having the Cowboys' defense's number. They did. Honest to God, this is the second week in a row Trevor Lawrence made it look easy. Did Dak Prescott shit the fucking bed right at the end? Yes. But you've come to expect that out of them. So the defense has to play well enough to allow Dak to shit the bed.
Correct.
And they didn't do that
because everybody else had a good game. Pollard had a good game.
Zeke had a good game. CeeDee Lamb had a good game.
Yep.
Noah Brown, again, this
Noah
week.
Brown, 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
I don't see how this guy... You know what? He would have even more touchdowns if our boy Cooper Rush was in there.
He'd probably have more yards than Justin Jefferson.
Yes. See, that's the killing part. I am so glad the Cowboys lost. I can't stand the fucking Cowboys. I hate Mike McCarthy. And I don't even know why I hate the guy. I just hate him. He's not even that bad of a guy. He's just, I can't fucking stand him.
Fuck him.
I don't like the Dallas fucking
Cowboys.
Why. I don't like the Dallas fucking Cowboys.
But you do like Jerry Jones.
The only reason I don't like Jerry Jones either.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
You would for sure.
You want to know why I don't like Jerry Jones?
Why?
Why do you think?
I don't know, but
Why do you think? Why do you think there's such animosity between me and Jerry Jones right now? There's a reason why I don't like him. He let the best football coach in Dallas Cowboy history leave because of his own arrogance.
owner now.
What?
Who?
Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, wow. Let me guess. He had a nice
Jimmy J.
erection.
Jimmy J. He let Jimmy Johnson leave. Jimmy Johnson had 3 fucking Super Bowls for the
And
Dallas
one
Cowboys.
big penis.
One big cock.
3 fucking Super Bowls, dude. 3 fucking Super Bowls.
Yeah.
They had one of the most dominating offensive lines ever in the sport. And after Jimmy Johnson left, it all went downhill. And he hasn't won shit since. Karma.
Mike McCarthy, Super Bowl champion this year.
Yeah, whatever.
Moving on.
Whatever. He needs to give that Super Bowl championship to fucking Brett Favre.
Uncle Sam's favorite team, the Carolina Panthers, hosted the Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday and got their asshole finger popped 24-16 in a game where Sam Darnold actually didn't play all that bad, but
No, he
God
didn't.
damn, they couldn't run the ball and the defense was just played awful.
Sam Darnold was sacked 4 times. He's lost 40 fucking yards on these 4 sacks.
They had 21 yards of rushing.
They were unable to run the ball. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense came out and they were ready to fucking play this game.
I'll be damned.
And they were pretty dominant.
I took the Panthers.
They were pretty dominant.
I'll be damned.
And I will say I was wrong.
Listen to him.
And Najee Harris had a great game. I don't even know what to say. He had 86 yards and a touchdown. He was running hard.
Hey, you want to know what you
And
say?
they won with Mitch Trubisky as quarterback.
And Trubisky didn't play bad.
Proof that you could be a shitbag and still win in this league.
Trubisky's a shitbag. You're right. Yes, Trubisky played like a shitbag. But guess what? Carolina's just it depends on the fucking week. They just go back and forth. If Deontay Foreman runs for 190 yards.
That Carolina team you seen yesterday was not that Carolina team that was that beat up Tampa 4 weeks ago.
If they run the ball, if they can run on you, they're gonna and they'll win. But you can't run on Pittsburgh, not when they're healthy. If Tampa just tries to stop the run,
that defense was ready for them.
Yeah, they were ready.
Sucks for them because who do they play next week?
Pittsburgh?
No, the Panthers.
The Detroit Lions.
Yeah, anyway.
Watch, he'll pick Carolina next week. How much you want to bet? Yeah. Anyways,
I agree.
Najee Harris, decent game. Mitch Trubisky, still a shitbag. Deontay Johnson, 10 for 98. George Pickens, 2 for 53. Other than that, I mean, Trubisky only completed 17 passes, but they did what they did to win the game. Trubisky had a touchdown on the ground, as did Jalen Warren and Najee Harris. Sam Darnold threw one to DJ Moore, and that was about it. I mean, Carolina just did not look good yesterday, period. Need not spend much more time on that fucking garbage fucking dumpster game. Next up, Atlanta headed to New Orleans for a
divisional game.
And thankfully, New Orleans came out on top 21-18. Desmond Ritter's debut as QB1 for the Atlanta Falcons, 13 for 26, 97 yards for a QBR of 59.
You know what? Drake London fumbled the ball. They had some fucking turnover issues.
Did you go say
my man was sacked. My man was sacked 4 fucking times. They were all over him, and I was pretty impressed with how he handled being under duress like that.
Are you done now?
Yeah, I was impressed with it.
He's awful, dude. It was awful.
Who's awful?
Desmond Ridder.
I don't think he's awful at all.
That was fucking awful. Come on.
Tyler Algier had a great game.
Caleb Huntley towards Achilles in this game, so he's done.
Okay.
Algier 17 for 139 and a touchdown. Cordero Patterson 14 for 52 and a touchdown. Realistically, I thought they were going to win this game based solely off of that, but Ritter's play was so awful, and New Orleans defense stepped up just a little bit, just well enough to end them in this. And the Taysom Hill fucking whatever you call it bullshit again. The fucking fluky Taysom Hill bullshit is what won them the game.
Well, Josh Johnson had big game. 4 catches for 67 yards.
Juwan Johnson.
Juwan Johnson, whatever. 2 touchdowns. Andy Dalton.
I mean, my God.
I mean, what do you want to say about Andy Dalton?
11
of 17, 151 and 2 touchdowns.
132 QBR. Very, very
Solid.
precise day throwing the
Very
ball.
solid.
I do that very often, you know.
What?
I said you're going to see a reemergence of Kamara, and Andy Dalton's not going to look that bad.
Kamara 21 for 91. Yeah, decent little game out of him. Taysom Hill threw 2 passes for 80 yards and a touchdown, as well as ran the ball 7 times for 30 yards. So his cuteness was back. Who's this other receiver here?
Sorry?
This other receiver for New Orleans?
Shaheed?
What's his first name?
Rashid Shaheed.
Rashid Shaheed. I just wanted to hear you say Rashid Shaheed.
Why? That's his name.
Rasheed Wallace.
I don't know. I figured you.
Well, you didn't think I knew that?
I figured you'd Herbert that one up. But
Anyway.
overall, decent little game for New Orleans. I still don't think they're any fucking good.
Okay.
I think every team in the division.
You'll see
sucks.
when they come and ass pummel Tampa here pretty soon.
Look, guess what?
I think they already ass
Luckily,
pummel
they don't
Tampa
play
once.
Tampa.
Didn't they already ass pummel Tampa once?
Do you know how sick I am of hearing you say, "Oh, yeah, they're gonna come ass pummel Tampa"?
But you took Tampa to win this
Fucking A.
I took them to win
Fuck
because
listen.
nay.
it was the setup for the win.
Can you do me a favor? And actually, Tampa beat them both times this year, so you can fucking gargle
they
on
didn't.
that. Yeah, they did. Gargle on that. We need to start finding a home to put him in. Anyways, here you go. You want to talk about your Eagles? And this big
Yeah,
win over
absolutely.
the
Let's
Bears.
talk about it.
Philadelphia headed to Chicago to play the Bears and won 25-20.
Okay.
In a game where Justin Fields put the team on his back again. Jalen Hurts put the team on his back again. My bad.
and so did Justin Fields. He put his team on his back.
Justin Fields, 14 for 21 for 152 and 2 touchdowns passing, a QBR of 119. 15,
Boy, was it cold.
15 rushes, 95 yards for Fields on the ground. Jalen Hurts, 22 of 37 for 315 yards and 2 picks through the air. But he made up for it with his feet, 17 rushes for 61 yards and 3 touchdowns, ultimately winning them the game.
A.J. Brown, 9 catches for 181 yards.
God, if he would have just had a touchdown.
My
Devonta Smith,
Lord.
5 for 126. So all the yards outside of 21 of the 315 went to A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
If you can believe that.
Miles Sanders. What the fuck?
I mean, at the end of the day, guess what? They don't need a running back.
the Bears have a good run defense. I mean,
Bears have a good run
they
defense.
gave up 112 yards rushing.
Negative 13 in the passing.
Guess what? At the end of the day, David Montgomery and Miles Sanders, there ain't much difference there. You're both running back on a team where the quarterback is running back 1.
Yeah,
That's it.
quarterback is a better running back than you are.
And I will say this much. There was a lot of times yesterday where I saw Jalen Hurts take off and run, and there was nobody in front of him.
Yeah.
One of them touchdowns was a 30-yard touchdown run.
And there was
from
absolutely nobody
nobody.
in the picture
Yeah, it was
when
there
they
was nobody
did it. I was just like, how the fuck is the lane that big?
I know.
You could have drove 2 semis sideways through the fucking hole.
Big gaping hole.
Giant gaping hole.
Yeah, hole.
Big gaping hole.
Anyways, Philadelphia looked good again.
Of course.
Hurts looked a little shaky throwing the ball though with those 2 picks, but
Well,
it is what it is.
Say what you want to say about Hurts. It is what it is.
No, I'm the one. Who thinks
I
he's the
think
MVP.
that Chicago's defense still can play when they feel like playing. They're still relevant.
Are you ready to say now that Jalen Hurts should win the MVP?
Absolutely, he should win it.
Oh, there we go.
What do you mean? Am I ready to say it? At this point, he should win it. There's 3 games left.
Okay. Next up, we go into our Saturday games, starting with Saturday night. The Miami Dolphins headed to Buffalo to play the Bills in a.
Divisional game.
And I'm not going to lie to you. There was one point where I thought Miami had this one bagged.
Well,
And then Buffalo just willed their way back. I mean,
I don't know about willed their way back.
oh, here we go. We want to give the Bills an ounce of credit again.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I just thought that Miami had a few plays just not go their way. I mean, what are you going to do? I thought Tua looked a little erratic. He wasn't himself.
17 for 30, 234, and 2 touchdowns. QBR of 104.
Yeah, he wasn't himself. There was a lot of, I think Raheem Mostert had a great
game. 17 for 136. Jalen Waddle, 3 for 114. Tariq, 9 for 69. And that was all the offense, essentially, was from Mostert, Waddle, and Tariq Hill.
Dawson Knox had a big game.
Beautiful game. 6 for 98 and a touchdown.
Josh Allen, 304, 4 touchdowns in the air.
120 QBR.
And had 77 yards rushing and runs right at the end of the game. That's what he does. He just runs.
Puts the team on his back and wins the game.
Runs.
He just runs,
like a gazelle.
I just thought it was a good game. Overall, I thought it was a good game.
I do too.
I think the Dolphins' defense let up at the end there. It was just not good.
Too much for them.
Not good defense.
You know what? It was colder than shit.
Well, I mean,
conditions
when teams
great.
are playing, I don't believe cold had a factor in this game. I just think that, you lose momentum. And once you start losing momentum, you're done.
Been working out in Miami for a year and then
they said
snow.
I saw a report that said that Miami was practicing with the air conditioning all the way down at their facility.
Yeah.
And they had it to 58 degrees for them to prepare for the cold.
Yeah, that's
on-field temperature was like 11.
Well, I mean, when you're running and shit like that, you don't feel that shit, dude.
How about you go run around outside naked, 11 degrees, and let me know?
And I'd be dying of sweating and everything else.
Yeah,
He's
you'd have
right.
hypothermia and pneumonia
you
in
get
35
used to it,
seconds.
You're right.
You get used
but
to it.
when you're, pretty much working out in 90-degree weather, all
That's
year.
what it is. I'm not going to say at all that the weather I don't think was a factor in this game.
I think Buffalo played a great fucking game.
Yeah.
Both sides of the ball. They did a good job of taking Tyreek Hill out of it. All right. And at the end of the day, Josh Allen fucking did. He willed his way through this. He ran the ball when he needed to. Yep. He made the throws that Tua didn't fucking make. Period.
Yep.
Even though you will not give them any credit.
I gave them credit. What else you want me to say? They won. They're in first place in their division.
I'll give them credit. So
sorry?
I thought it was a great game.
Yeah.
Next up, let's talk about the Baltimore Ravens, who headed to Cleveland for a
divisional game
and got their assholes popped. Realistically, Cleveland didn't play that great of a game, but they still beat Baltimore 13-3. I mean, what the fuck else are we going to say? J.K. Dobbins ran the ball 13 times for 125 yards. Gus Edwards ran the ball 7 times for 55 yards. And guess what? Even with 180 yards of rushing, they couldn't fucking get the ball into the end zone. Why? Because Lamar Jackson's not playing. Tyler fucking Huntley is. Tyler Huntley's not good at football, and he has nobody to throw the ball to because, again, week after week after week after week after week, the Ravens don't have any offensive weapons. And that's it. This just goes to show you. J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards could literally run for their fucking lives and have great games on the ground. And at the end of the day, if you don't have anybody besides Mark Andrews to throw the ball to, it don't fucking matter. And without Lamar Jackson, this team is a shell of themselves who probably won't win another game. At the same fucking time, the Cleveland Browns are awful too. I mean, Deshaun Watson, 18 for 28, 161 and a touchdown. Great. How the fuck do they only put up 13 points in this game? How is it you come out of this game with 1 touchdown against a team in Baltimore that was just that's literally, I mean, for lack of a better word, they're a shell of themselves.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it. I thought Cleveland's defense played pretty well. Granted, it was Tyler Huntley. They couldn't stop the run to save their life. They kept a decent bottle on the receivers, but we don't even know how good of a job they did because it's Huntley. And I don't think Huntley was 100% healthy.
Didn't look like it.
No. Nick Chubb, 21 for 99. And Amari Cooper called about 58 yards. DPJ had a touchdown. Realistically, this game was the worst of the weekend, in my opinion.
Okay.
Any thoughts?
Nope.
Dog shit.
Dog water.
O'Doyle rules. Right off the fucking cliff, baby.
What?
O'Doyle rules.
I don't know what that means. Anyways,
From Billy Madison?
that one went over my head.
You have to smoke a lot of dope to watch fucking Adam Sandler movies.
In the Saturday midday matchup, Indianapolis headed to Minneapolis to play the Vikings. And what we saw in this overtime game where Indianapolis lost 36-39 was the largest comeback in NFL history. This game at the half was 33-0. Indianapolis comes out, gets a field goal, it's 36-0. And over the next 2 quarters and a part of overtime, Minnesota put up 39 unanswered points to come back and absolutely skull fuck the Indianapolis Colts and Jeff Saturday. Jeff Saturday will never fart right again after this game. At the end of the day, if I was Jim Irsay's drunk ass and I watched this shit happen, I'm throwing that motherfucker. That motherfucker's not getting back on the plane. Sorry.
Everything that could have
Experiments failed.
went wrong for Minnesota in the first half of that game.
Everything. And then everything that could have went wrong for Indy went wrong in the second half of that game. Jeff Saturday.
They had 11 penalties for 103 yards.
This was awful, dude.
That is fucking unbelievable.
I mean, here's another thing. Kirk Cousins in the last 2 games has almost 1,000 yards passing.
Yeah, he had 460 and 4 touchdowns. in 2
My
games.
God.
Dude, Dalvin Cook refuses to fucking...
KJ Osborne had 10 catches for 157 yards and a touchdown.
Justin Jefferson, 12 for 123 and a touchdown. Dalvin Cook, 4 for 95 and a touchdown through the air, and then another 17 for 95 on the fucking ground. Thielen got a touchdown. Everybody got involved. At the end of the day, how the fuck, if you are Indianapolis, I don't care if Jesus Christ comes down to quarterback it and he's throwing to Jerry Rice and Randy Moss, how do you blow a 36-point lead?
There's no answer to that.
And I get it. Jonathan Taylor went down early in this game. He's out for the year. His season is done. Zach Moss, 24 for 81, and Deion Jackson, 13 for 55. It's not like you couldn't run the ball.
Right.
Was this just a situation of they got up so big, so early? Jeff Saturday's not a fucking coach.
That's it.
And
right
the wheels
there.
just completely
They got
fell
up
off.
so big, so early. They took their foot off the gas and got ass pummeled in receiving that.
I mean, my God. I don't
This is
even
what
know
happens
what I
to these
saw.
teams. You seen the same thing happen when the Texans went against Dallas last week. They were up big, and the next thing you know, they took their foot off the gas and they got pummeled at the end.
I don't think you're hearing this. Record. NFL record for a comeback. The worst ever is Jeff Saturday. That's what Jeff Saturday's tenure as a head coach will be remembered for. The worst comeback in NFL history against him.
Okay.
One thing stepped out to me, that Stephon Gilmore hit on Justin Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
That was a clean hit.
That was a
That was
clean
bullshit.
fucking hit.
That was bullshit. And once again, the rules committee are going to meet to talk about all the fuck ups that they do constantly. Yeah. And it's not just 1 or 2 games.
The holding
fucking
calls
every game.
in the Lions game.
Every game you will see a bad fucking call and a bad fucking flag.
I mean,
Every game.
I can't argue with you there.
Huh?
I can't argue with that there.
I don't see how anybody could. We missed a game.
What?
Titans, Chargers.
Well, the Titans didn't play the Chargers this week, so.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Huh?
We missed a game. Titans, Chargers.
Yesterday. 17-14 Chargers.
Thought we talked about that one.
No, we didn't.
I did miss that one, didn't I?
Okay.
And end off this weekend's games. The Chargers played the Titans. Ryan Tannehill finally got put out of his fucking misery in this game. They brought in Malik Willis at the end.
No, but he came back in. He came back in with the taped ankle and
Okay.
finished it off.
1, Ryan Tannehill's not good at football. 2, Malik Willis, not good at football. 3, again, for the 900th week in a row, we have seen the only decent thing the Tennessee Titans offense has is Derrick Henry, who had a decent game, very nice game, actually. And
A nice game catching the ball. I was surprised.
yeah,
He
4
had a
for
few nice
59
catches.
catching it. Yep.
I was really impressed with that. He showed that he's not a one-trick pony.
105 on the ground, and it still was not enough to put away this Chargers team.
Well, this game came down to the wire.
It did, and it was ugly, and it wasn't a very Chargers-like game.
It took for Justin Herbert to come up with a huge play at the end of this game
Correct.
for them to win it.
At the end of the day, the biggest issue I see with this is Tennessee's defense is just really starting to collapse hard.
I thought they played pretty well. For the most part. Right at the end of the game, they let up a big pass.
They
play
played
down
really
the field.
well in the red zone.
They were tough. They were very tough yesterday.
Justin Herbert wasn't one of his better games. I'm going to say that much. But again, the
Titans secondary played really well in this game. They did.
Here's the thing. The Titans are going to be what they are right now until they address the quarterback situation. Because Ryan Tannehill ain't going to take you anywhere past what you are now, and Malik Willis is not the future. So
No, Malik Willis was actually pretty awful.
he's fucking awful at football.
Yeah,
Both quarterbacks that are
Not good.
awful at football.
not good. They got to figure out what they're going to do.
Keenan Allen, 8 for 86. Mike Williams, 4 for 67. Josh Palmer had a decent little game, 5 for 49.
And he went out hurt.
He did. Austin Eckler, 12 for 58 on the ground with a touchdown. Josh Kelly, 10 for 24, but also picked up a touchdown in this game as well. Realistically, this Chargers team's probably going to make the wild card. They're probably going to pick up a wild card spot. I don't think any of the teams underneath them really have the juice to push them out.
Okay.
But I don't think this is the Super Bowl team we all thought it was.
No.
Go ahead.
You see them in the playoffs. I think they might be a force to be reckoned with.
They're a very matchup decisive team. If they match up well against you, yeah, they can beat you. But they're not one of those teams that's going to come out and just beat a random team. I feel like the Chargers are a very, very, very the matchup matters.
They're limited
Correct.
because their defense doesn't show up every week.
Right. Tennessee for me, and you're probably going to be surprised by this, even more so than Tampa, I have less faith in Tennessee. I have less faith in the Titans than I do in Tampa right now. I think they're the worst team that's currently holding a playoff spot, even over the wild cards. Like, who do you like better right now, Washington or Tennessee?
Washington.
Okay. I think Tennessee's
They don't
going
play
to...
in the same division.
I know, but I think Tennessee's going to fall out of spot, and I think Jacksonville takes it back, especially because they play each other last
Well, I think
time of the year.
Jacksonville's just hot right now.
Yep.
Too.
I think Jacksonville's going to roll.
I think Jacksonville's going to roll the rest of the year.
I agree. Before we end today's episode, we need to talk about the game tonight. Baker versus Aaron. The Rams are heading to Lambeau to play the Packers. And this game is, for lack of a better word, just going to be a fucking shit show, I think. It's going to be cold. They said this will be the coldest game the Rams have played in like 40 or 50 years. They're expecting,
Really?
yeah. So supposedly game time temperatures under 10 degrees or something around that. I don't know.
Where's it at?
It's in Lambeau.
Okay.
Green Bay's a
Can't be
touchdown and a half a point favorite, huh?
It can't be for Baker or.
Yeah, Baker's played in cold weather. I don't believe that. So
Okay.
what?
They say the team.
So go ahead, pick Baker
Well, no,
Mayfield
I'm
to
just
win
saying,
tonight.
I'm
then.
just saying. They say the team hasn't played in cold weather, but they have players on the team that have.
Well, yeah, correct. Anyways,
The weather won't be an issue tonight. I don't think so. I think they'll both be fired up in the.
you think Tutu Atwell's played in sub-zero conditions
I'm
before?
sure he has.
Anyways, give me Green Bay -7.5 in the under in this game. I think it's going to be a shit show. I think Baker's going to look like garbage again, and I think the Rams are going to get embarrassed.
What do you mean?
Personally.
Baker looked like Tom Brady last week.
Well, that's not a good thing anymore, is it?
I wouldn't say it is, but
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm taking.
not my
Green Bay as
opinion.
well.
Go ahead, take him then.
What are you talking about?
Take Baker tonight.
I didn't take the Rams. I
Oh.
took Green Bay.
Oh.
What do you mean?
Why are you sitting here touting whether it's not going to be an issue? Baker's
I
played
just
in
don't
the
think
cold.
it's going to be an issue. I think everybody better watch out tonight. Aaron Rodgers got something to prove.
There we go. You heard it here first. Also, it's Christmas week. Wednesday, we will have a special Christmas edition because fantasy's quickly coming to an end. So we will have a special Christmas episode on Wednesday. We will still be back Friday. And yeah, other than that, anything to add today?
Go Lions.
Will you please give us a ho before we leave?
No. I don't.
Bruce, anything?
Go Lions, baby.
Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. If you haven't yet, follow our socials, Instagram and Twitter at Tip Balls, TikTok at Tip Balls Podcast. If you are listening to us on Spotify and Apple Music, remember to check us out on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for listening. We will be back on Thursday with our Christmas special.
Am I perfect?